Welcome back to BVarsity Live. Zach Ewing here with you in the Dignity Health Studio next to Trevor Horn. And let me see, Trevor, we had Kyle Jean was supposed to be here, but he decided, I don't know, he couldn't make it.
Sure.
Which is fine, but we'll check him out at Pinnacle Performance. Louis Amistoy said, I'm busy, I can't come in. Justin Roberts, I got to go out to Button Willow, I'm busy. So, do we smell or something? I mean, what's the deal here?
We're just too good for them.
That did not sound convincing.
I know.
It didn't sound convincing.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we've got so much to go through, and I think you and I have talked about it, that we could talk for an hour, but, do people really want to? We
it's
do
Nick
have
Ellis.
Nick Ellis.
Nick Ellis just walked in the building.
Come in here, Mr.
Get yourself
Ellis.
in here, Nick Ellis. I actually have a question for him. All right. That was fortuitous. This is great. This is great.
Yeah, good timing. He sticks his tongue out, and then we let him on the show.
By the way,
that happens.
league play starts Friday in football, which we will talk at length about, and you will have a league-by-league preview coming out in tomorrow's newspaper, by the way.
Yeah.
And on Bakersfield.com.
Yep.
Nick Ellis, how are you?
Good to see you guys.
Scoot in just a little bit and cuddle so we can all get on the shot. There we go.
Good to see you, man. Trevor keeps
I've
moving
got it.
farther away.
All right.
Well, I've sat in a car with you down to
The
L.A.
three
and
amigos
back.
here.
I know what's going on.
I have a refereeing question for you, sir.
Sure.
Okay, Ridgeview versus Bakersfield on Friday night. Game of the year in Kern County so far, right? Mm-hmm. Late in the game, Bakersfield's up by a point after Ridgeview missed an extra point. It's 21-20. Bakersfield has the ball inside the 5. It's 4th and goal. And they go for it, and I believe it was Kier Gregg takes the handoff or takes the snap and runs, and he is stopped. It's questionable whether forward progress was stopped, but the whistle's blew. Now, it was so loud in that stadium you could not hear the whistle blow from where I was, but down on the field perhaps you could. Gregg fumbled. Chris John Brown of Ridgeview picked it up and started running the other way, but the whistle had blown. They stop it. Is forward progress – now, Dennis Manning, here's the interesting thing about this. I thought it was a forward progress stopped whistle. Dennis Manning said he was told by the referees after the game that it was an inadvertent whistle.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So
yeah.
How often does that happen? How does that happen?
We always knock when we say the words inadvertent whistle because, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it changes the game. I mean, it changes the game, and that's a circumstance. And that's just – I mean, obviously the whistle is in your mouth because you have to be ready to blow it, and it just – you're running, and so air comes out and it just blows. I mean, how does it usually happen?
Well, there's a couple of ways it happens. The first thing is you don't see the ball. And when you have teams that are running a lot, especially that wing tee, there's situations when you think you saw the ball, they had a fake handoff or something, and then you think he's down with the ball, and he's not.
So they faked you out, in other words.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. We tell referees all the time, see the ball, see the ball, see the ball. If you don't see the ball, don't blow your whistle. And, of course, you probably heard this before. The whistle doesn't kill the play kills the play. Mm-hmm. As an example, if a kid is running and he is down just on his own in high school football, he's down. We don't have to blow a whistle. If somebody comes in late, it's a late hit, things of that nature. So from what I've been told, and I've talked to a few people about the play, because obviously it was a big play, the official, first of all, to be very candid about it, is a second-year official, maybe third.
Right. Inexperienced, though.
Inexperienced. Yeah. He is a very experienced basketball referee where you carry the whistle in your mouth pretty much the whole game. In football, you should not carry the whistle in your mouth.
I see.
And the lanyard for these is about like right here. So you literally, if you think you're going to blow the whistle, you'd grab it and then have a chance to put it in your mouth.
So there's a second and a half delay, yeah.
Right. You got that delay, which gives you a chance to think about what you saw and make sure. So that's what the error was from what I've been told. And then from what I've been told, he kind of didn't know what to do because he hasn't had a lot of inadvertent whistles. When you have an inadvertent whistle, if it's a little accidental toot or just a small little toot where you just blow it a little bit, you got to get on your whistle. You got to man
Kill
up to
the play.
that.
Yeah.
Kill the play. Whatever happens, and that's it. The unfortunate thing, inadvertent whistles, there are two types of plays in football. There's a running play and a loose ball play. Loose ball will be a pass or a kick. On a loose ball play, the only option for an inadvertent whistle is to replay the down, period. So, and then on running play, you could take the result of the play at the spot the whistle was blown.
Which I believe is what they did.
Or you could replay the down.
Because Ridgeview did get the ball but they stopped Bakersfield on downs, but they did not get the fumble return. They were backed up inside their own 5.
Right.
Ended up having to punt, and then Bakersfield scored another touchdown to basically put the game away. But yeah, it was kind of an unfortunate circumstance. Now, now my question is, and obviously all these mistakes sound understandable, and they happen, and we understand that. A second-year official on the biggest game in town, is that something that happened on purpose? I mean, how would that have been assigned?
Well, to be very honest.
And now I know there's a shortage. That's part of it.
Well, yeah, and I hope I don't piss off any of my referee buddies, but I'm a very honest, direct person, as you well know. There's just not a lot of choices. I mean, when you look at the schedule of people that can work in schools they cannot work, there were 5 or 6 varsity officials that had taken the day off, which they beg them not to, don't take vacation and go anywhere during the season.
Isn't that what you tell me?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I demand it. I chain you to your desk.
There you have it. Yeah. So, should he been on that game? It's hard to say.
But there
at this
was no
point.
better option, in other words.
Well, probably not. I mean, he's a good official, and he's going to make mistakes.
Well, and I should say, I thought the game was very well officiated
Yeah.
outside of that one mistake, and I hate to dwell on it, but it was a huge game-changing play.
Yeah, and it could have happened from a veteran as well. I mean, we've all had inadvertent whistles. They happen. The thing that the referee needs to know, and I'm actually got a call into him, is because I refereed basketball for many years, is to learn to take the whistle out of your mouth, and then hopefully you eliminate those kind of problems. But so I don't want to necessarily blame it on the fact that he was a second-year official, but I'm glad you went that direction a minute ago. We don't have enough referees in a county the size we are. We have 75 to 80 guys refereeing high school football. That's nothing.
So don't complain if you don't like the call. Get out there and do it yourself, and you'll help. KCOA.org is where you go.
Yeah.
I have 2 quick
You
questions.
get paid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was up at Lake Isabella for the Corcoran-Kern Valley game last week. Corcoran's running back runs out to the right side, decides nobody's on the ground, and at some point, instead of just running right out of bounds, he decides to take a big leap, like a straight-up leap. And I don't know what exactly he was trying to do, but there was no flag called. And I thought that anytime you leave your feet, is it anytime you leave your feet or anytime you leave your feet to jump over a player, it's a flag?
Well, what penalty are you thinking of? You're hurdling?
The hurdling.
Okay, hurdling is only if you try to jump over a player that has just his feet on the ground.
Okay.
So if I'm down on the ground,
So if you
on
don't
my
actually
knees-
jump over anybody, you just decide to just jump in the air?
Sure, there's nothing wrong with that.
And then the second one, too, was a critical play. Kern Valley did end up scoring on this drive, but there was a punt at the midfield. The ball hits the ground. Punter picks it up, but it appears that his knee is on the ground when he picks it up. No whistle. He kicks the ball away. The ball falls dead. Nobody picks it up. Finally, at Kern Valley, because they're waiting for a whistle, Kern Valley player is sitting there with the whistle, and then finally a whistle comes in
Now, you're talking about after the kick?
after the kick.
Okay, so the balls come stopped?
Yep.
And then a whistle comes.
And then a whistle comes.
Okay.
But then they converge, and they decide to replay the down.
Why?
And I don't know. Have you heard anything about that play?
Replay? No, I haven't. Replay the down?
Yeah, they just replayed it again. It was a repunt. There was no
Well-
ball is down where when he picked up the ball, Kern Valley takes over the ball at that point at Corcoran's 35-yard line.
Right.
No, the ball was not then downed where it was picked up after the punt.
Now, it sounds to me like it was a refereeing decision where, guys, we messed this up so bad we don't know what to do. Let's just do it over again.
Yeah.
Is there any room for that at all?
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
That shouldn't happen.
No, it really shouldn't. But just like we talked about inadvertent whistles a minute ago, loose ball play, which a kick is, if you blow an inadvertent whistle, what happens? You replay the down. Doesn't matter what happens on the play.
Okay.
So if the whistle were to blow, and let's say that the ball was muffed off the receiver, or maybe he actually had possession of the ball and he started to run and he fumbled, the other team picks up the ball, the kicking team, and scores. That's off the board.
Yep.
So maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was
That
an
might have
inadvertent
been
whistle.
it.
I'm going
Yeah.
to say, based on what you told me, and I listen to a lot of stories, and a lot of times when I talk to the people who are actually on the field, it's completely different than what you guys saw.
Oh, of course.
But assuming that what you said is what happened, my first bet would be an inadvertent whistle.
Okay.
Yeah, and those things happen.
Well,
So-
I'm glad you stopped by, Nick, because
Yeah.
we had these questions, and I thought about calling you, and then I thought, oh, it's Wednesday night, now we'll be okay. We got other guests, and then we had 2 other guests bail, and you stopped by anyway.
Well,
so that
I'm
was
glad
great.
to be here. It's
Yeah.
always fun. But have you got a minute or more?
Sure.
I'm glad we're talking about referees, and you know as well as anybody that I speak to that we need more referees. I mean, I can't beat this up enough. In a county the size that we are, we should have more people interested in being referees. That's number one. Number two is you've got to give these guys time to learn to be good.
Right.
When I first came in, we had a lot less schools, obviously. I think they've added 10 since I first started. It took 5 years to get on a varsity field, and that's if you were good.
And now you're throwing them out there a lot sooner. Yeah.
We've got some guys that are working lower level varsity games, the smaller schools, that are their first year. Okay, it's all about supply and demand. So the first thing for fans is don't yell and chew up a bunch of rookie officials. I always said when I was experienced, you could come at me with whatever you got. I'll take care of you. I'll handle it.
Right.
But don't do that to the new guys. Coaches need to be more appreciative of referees, and I mean this sincerely. Go up and tell a guy, hey, good game, hey, good job, because we all take this personally. It is a personal thing for us.
And a little praise goes a long way. As we all
It
know,
goes
too.
a long way. And what happens is if you keep people around, because we'll get 20 new guys in a year, by the week 2, we have 10 of those 20 gone. And we need people to stick around, and then over a period of 4 or 5 years, now we've built up our numbers, and now we can command more from our referees. The pool to choose from is bigger.
So Nick
That's
Ellis
my
commands
message.
it, people.
I wish.
Try to think about it. Referee, pick your favorite sport, or pick more than one sport.
Mm-hmm.
Come out, kcoa.org, right? That's the place to go.
I can't remember. It's either kcoa.org or kcoa.com.
Pretty sure it's KCOA. That's Kern County Officials Association, kcoa.org. And sign up to be a referee, sign up for classes. You have to pay for your equipment, but you get paid. You're going to earn that money back pretty quickly. And
Friday night, when you're experienced, I would white hat the varsity game. Another position on the JV game is about $160 as an independent contractor. That's pretty good money, and I got to do something that I loved.
Right.
It's a long day.
It's the way you stay in the game, though.
It's the way you stay, and you help in the community. There's just so many. I met most of my friends that I have, including you, through sports. That's where I've met these people, and you too, obviously. Yeah.
I thought it was dog meat.
Yeah, but I've known him a little.
Well, I was going
longer.
to say we're not friends. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you could say that. That's fine.
Yeah. No, Nick, we appreciate it. It's a good message. It's one people need to hear, and Trevor will get something in the paper as well, reminding people.
Yep, it'll be in tomorrow's paper.
Yeah, let's get as many officials as we can. It's a way to stay in the game. It helps the kids. It really helps the entire situation.
Basketball's getting ready to start at the end of this month. Referees
Keep
will have
yourself in
classes.
shape. That's another benefit.
Great cardio.
Well, we got to get to predictions. We got to get to our last break here so we can get to some Week 6 high school football predictions. But, Nick, thanks for stopping by, man. I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
You want to
enjoy.
stick around for picks?
Sure.
All right,
Yeah.
stick around. We'll be right back on BVarsity Live.